Hello everyone, it's Grandpa Hickory. Welcome to my video. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I got my Yorkshire Gold tea. I hope you got your coffee or your tea. Cheers to all of you. Just a little bit too hot. Got to let it sit for a while, let it steep a little bit longer, and let it cool. I went to the chiropractor yesterday. I was in there, and there was a lot of people in there, and you got to go up, make your appointments and pay and everything. And you know how it is. And about that time, the door come open fast. And, I'm standing there, and this man comes running in, and he looked horrified. And he looked around like this. He saw where the bathroom was, and he took off running. And, anyway, we all was taking care of things, making the appointments and stuff like that, doing all that. And a little bit later, I was, waiting and everything. Everybody else there's waiting their turn. So we were all waiting, and they come and get you, and take you back to the chiropractor. Well, we're all sitting there waiting and, talking, some people talking, things like that. And I like to look outside at the birds and things. They got some real nice big trees in front with all kinds of birds. But let me tell you what happened. That man come out of the bathroom, and he was covered. He had it all over his pants, the backside of his pants. He had it on his shoes and his socks. That poor man did not make it to the bathroom. And see, the girls, they cleaned the bathroom in there, the girls up front at the desk. Well, they had closed the lid down on the commode. They only have one commode in that whole bathroom and in that whole place. That man, he was struggling with his belt when he come in, and he didn't make it. He didn't make it. So went everywhere. But the thing is, when he pulled his pants down, everything went all over the top of the commode, went all over the floor. I'm not trying to gross you out. But he stood there and he told them young ladies at the desk, he said, listen, he said, I am so sorry about your bathroom. He said, I did the best I could to clean it up, but y'all don't have a mop or anything in there. And he said, I've got to go. He held his clothes out like this all over him. It was horrible. He said, I've got to go. He said, I've got a long way to drive. And he said, I got to drive with this all over me. I felt so sorry for him. And he was talking that he was in traffic and had to use a bathroom, and that everybody was going slow. They would do 45 and a 65, and when they'd get to red lights, when the light turned green, they would sit there until the light started turning red, and then they would pull off. Well, here he is behind him, and it's a red light. So he said that happened to him quite a bit, trying to get there for his appointment. And then he turned. He was going to go, waiting for the green arrow. There was a car in front of him. And then that man did the same thing. It was a pickup. I think he says pickup. But he rode. The man in the 35-mile-an-hour zone, he did 20. So the man couldn't pass him. So he pulled in there and come running inside. Like I said, he didn't make it. But I said, well, there's no bathrooms out here on these highways anyway, And he said, I know. And I said, sometimes you can find them. He said, well, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm Grandpa Hickory. But isn't that true? I talked to my son last night. My son told me, he said, Dad, he said, that is true. He said, it seems like if you're driving a long way or something like that, and you got to use a bathroom, he said, it seems like everybody just slows down. And he said, have you ever noticed that? I said, well, yeah. I said, I guess I have, Yeah, but isn't that something? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Goodbye from Texas.